Welcome, everybody, to episode 30 of the Hotfix podcast. And today we're talking about copyright music.
Did you notice how I spelled copyright wrong on the thing?
Yes, I did. And I already made fun of you for it.
It's, there's something about my inability to do a lot of things that's very appealing to some people. Not many people,
But
to some.
There's a market. There's a, what is it? A lid for every pot?
Welcome to Hotfix, the weekly podcast that dives into the fascinating world of streaming, gaming, and esports. With your hosts, Brant Vladichuk and Jeremy Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hotfix podcast, episode number 30. This mic stand will be the death of me today. This I swear.
Maybe the lamp. The mic stand is usually in place of this new lamp for the YouTube viewers, and it was not the play. So next week, no lamp. And
Brant
mic stand.
prioritizes the lamp over me, and that just speaks a lot about our relationship and who really is the important one on this podcast.
The lamp looks a lot better.
I can't even argue that because that's just a fact. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the pros and cons of copywritten music, the hard copyright strikes that have been going on, Twitch streamers, how that has negatively impacted or potentially even ruined some people's streaming careers, and how it may have given birth to other people's streaming careers.
All right. I'm very intrigued by the given birth to streaming careers.
For sure. So, I mean, I think as far as the giving birth to streaming careers thing goes, it's like, okay, if we talk about copyright-free music in the streaming world, the pièce de résistance at this point in time would be your stream beats, right? That's like, I think what Harris Heller and Alpha Gaming have done is like, I guess it's Harris Heller, not Alpha Gaming, right? It's his own thing. Harris Heller has done is definitely like the thing that's shined a lot of light on copyright-free music. Not that there wasn't millions of copyright-free songs out there before, but, he was in a very unique place and on the right platforms to be able to push copyright-free music to an audience that needed it.
And generally, that's the word. Copyright-free music kind of sucks.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And you've heard every copyright song in YouTube videos.
Yeah, no, of course,
you can recognize it. But there hasn't really been just like that background music that you have while you do something music. It always seems to be like for a purpose.
Exactly. So he filled a void that popped up, I guess, maybe not quite a year ago. Something like that, right? Probably.
I think it was less than a year.
Within the last year. Where a lot of big streamers started getting copyright strikes on their channels, and that started to scare people into, now they're not going to play the music that they would normally play on their stream. And what that left was a very big hole for music for streamers to play. So Harris Heller, being the smart person that he is, realized that there was a problem, and he devised a way to fix it. It's been quite successful for him, and that's incredible. So, on a very broad scale, there is, copyright strikes giving... Not that it necessarily gave birth to his career, because he was doing quite well prior to, but even he himself will say that it is a large source of his income at this point.
Yeah, and even his numbers on Twitch, like before Stream Beats was like 400 to 500, and now it's pretty consistently above 1,000.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well, and it's all very well deserved. I mean, we've spoken about Harris before on the podcast, and nothing but the utmost respect for him and his work ethic and the way he decided to run his business has been nothing but successful, at least recently, right?
And definitely something to look up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and definitely like
an inspiration, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
So further to, again, the given birth to, or possibly could give birth to, streamers' careers. The thing is that with copyright-free music being more prevalent and more needed in the streaming community, you run into, a lot of channels that all of a sudden don't know what to play. And, it's fine to have a Stream Beats, and, you can have, you have the Stream Beats lo-fi, whatever playlist. And it's okay, great. But then what ends up happening is you go to every stream and everyone's playing the same playlist. And it's just like, it all just blurs into the background because it's just like, okay, this is just what every stream channel sounds like. And this is further to like what I want to talk about later with, the negative side of this copyright thing. But, every streamer has some kind of a vibe that they want to set with their channel. Not that that's always set through music, but a lot of the times it is, right?
100%, yeah.
So how this copyright-free music need can help birth some people's channels is if you are an artistic person, if you are a musician, if you do record your own music, all of a sudden there's a space that needs piles and piles and piles of music. So what people can start doing, I believe we spoke about this a few weeks back as well, is like how rad is when Twitch announced their soundboard, whatever the hell it's called, their own music streaming.
Isn't it just
thing.
called Soundtrack?
Sure.
Yeah.
But remember when we were talking about that, we were saying how, like how rad it would be to be someone who produces their own music, to live stream yourself recording it, live stream yourself mixing it, and then the music then gets put onto the Twitch soundboard or whatever, and then those people can play the very music that they watched get created.
Yeah.
It was a weird sentence. But like that's how it can, if you're a musician and you do create your own music, or you have a want to create your own music, that's something that people who have been curious about streaming or didn't really know what to do, or maybe, they thought you could only play video games, or they don't do, whatever the other things are that are on Twitch, they're not very good at just chatting, whatever it may be, they can just kind of stream themselves recording that music, and then you're going to get a certain percentage of the audience that's interested in people who are making music, and then your music can be anything from a lo-fi thing, or it can be hip-hop, or it can be metal, or it can be rock and roll, it can be R&B, it can be jazz, whatever it may be. But the thing is that, obviously people like all different kinds of music, so now there's a need for streamer-focused music that covers a bunch of different genres.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? We don't need 5,000 lo-fi playlists, like as much as I enjoy lo-fi, and I think most people do, as just like something to have on in the background just so there's sound.
And it's like with anything to do with music, like everything has its like place.
Of course, yeah.
And like I love the lo-fi stuff when I'm like just chatting, like hanging out. It's great. But if I'm playing Halo, I need something with like fast.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing Halo with like beats to study to on
like
blast.
You need some heavy metal, nonstop double kick, like getting your adrenaline pumped.
1,000%. And further to that, there's some people who don't like lo-fi, they don't like metal, but they do, like I said, maybe they like jazz. But so there's a want or a need, I suppose. It's more of a need than a want, I think. It's kind of being forced into a need.
Yeah.
For all different kinds of genres of music. So what you could end up seeing is a pile of musicians creating music on Twitch for streamers, right? And that's the thing too. Like you said earlier, there's a billion copyright free songs out there on SoundCloud and YouTube and whatever you want, wherever you want to look, but the need is in music that's marketed to streamers. I think that's the thing, right? Like there's if you're a musician that happens to be listening to this and you're thinking about creating music for streamers, like market your thing toward streamers. Like that's why Stream Beats is called Stream Beats. It's beats to stream to. Like that's the
quite
thing.
Literally. Yeah.
Like that's it. like that would have been branded that way for a very specific reason, as opposed to lo-fi playlist by Harris Heller.
Yeah.
Right? It's marketed towards streamers because there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of streamers that need music. And while a large percentage of people who do still play copywritten music, you know, they're taking a little bit of a gamble. You know, as a streamer with, you know, if you only have 3, 4, 5 viewers, like, are you at risk of getting copyright strikes? You are at risk. Is it going to happen? Like, probably not.
Probably not.
But
yeah.
I still, you know, I pop into some streamers who have 6, 7, 800, 1,000 viewers, and they're listening to just like Eminem.
Yeah, whatever.
And it's like
whatever's on their Spotify, like
yeah.
thing.
Daily Mix 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And just play, and it's just like that's fine, and it's great that you get to like obviously listen to that music, and that's like I think what people want to just listen to whatever the hell they want.
And our time is kind of limited right now for how long you can get away with that for.
Yeah, because it's
like,
only going to get worse, right?
Yeah, and like Devin Nash and Harris Heller both said this. Like, it's not a matter of if it's going to be a problem; it's a matter of when.
100%. Yeah, and people, and the thing is too is that at this point, especially any partnered Twitch streamer is very, very well aware of the copyright strike thing. Like, you'd have to be like completely oblivious to what's going on within your own silo so much that you don't pay attention to anything else that's going on to not realize that the copyright strike thing is happening. So if you are a partnered streamer and you're playing copywritten music, you're just gambling with your own career. Like, really. Like, and I don't know what the copyright strikes are. Like, do you know? Like, if you get a first-time offender
like
copyright
on
strike.
Twitch, there is no... Like, YouTube, you have, like, an appeal process, and then there's a... if you get strikes, they, like, expire after a while.
Right.
On Twitch, to my knowledge, doesn't really have a very good appeal, if any sort of appeal process. Like, you get a DMCA, thank you, YouTube commenter.
Yeah.
Strike on something, like, it can just, like, your channel's, like, gone.
But is it one strike you're out? Like, if you strike him once, you're banned forever, or is it
I think on Twitch, you can please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's only once. If you get a DMCA on your channel, like, it's gone.
Surely not. That can't be right.
I know it's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's something not as good as YouTube's system, because YouTube is built around that.
But then again, I guess if you, like you said, there might not be a public appeal process, but surely as a partner, you have someone at Twitch you can reach out to that kind of like, there's a partner manager thing. Sure, that has to be a thing, right?
I don't know exactly what happens, but Twitch needs to put some sort of process in.
No, of course. I remember there's a streamer. Her name is Learn, and I remember she got a copyright strike, and she was definitely banned for something like 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, something like that. Like, there was definitely, like 100% there was something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, but that, again, is that just she got banned and then there was
because there's no process. Like, on YouTube, there's a process.
Right.
Like, a video gets DMCA'd, the video gets taken down or gets demonetized, or the money gets sent to the person, and then there's a strike, and then there's an appeal.
And then
on
if you
Twitch,
get strikes X amount of times, then it's like, then you can get your channel taken.
Yeah, it's like if you get 3 strikes like at the same time or whatever, you're gone. But to my knowledge, like on Twitch, they don't have a process. So if your channel gets DMCA'd, like,
imagine if that's why
Jeff
Doc got banned.
Bezos just like fucking kicks you out his front door.
He's Uncle Phil's you right out the door.
And then you come begging back, and he might let you back.
That's right. But yeah, imagine if that's why Doc got banned. Like, this whole time, everyone's like, "What did he do? It's this big controversy." He's like, "Oh, he just listened to Fleetwood Mac once."
Could you imagine?
Mental. But further. Okay, so we're talking about the copyright-free music and how you can do all kinds of different things. So part of the reason to do this podcast is because our boy Brant here did just release some copyright music. So we talk about how someone who does make music can start doing this and target it towards streamers. Do you want to talk about like what it is that you did and why you did this genre and like that kind of thing? Like, what kind of drove you to do that?
Yeah, so the genre is because I play in punk and metal bands. B, as I said earlier, like I don't want to play Halo to lo-fi as much as I like the lo-fi stuff. It's just like first-person shooters. It just doesn't always work. So I've talked about how I've been kind of taking a break for the last 4 months, and I was writing a kind of metal-y, fast, epic album of instrumental music that anybody can use on their stream.
Hey, what do you know?
And I'm going to start streaming again.
Hell yeah, dude. Now that you have some music to play.
So, like, it'll be linked below. And I think the other thing we want to talk about, like, it's also part of my, like, offline content stuff. So,
well, that's the other thing too, right? It's like not only, you know, if you talk about the streamer who live streams himself making the music, then uploads it to, you know, a Twitch soundboard or whatever the name is called, it's not good because clearly I can't
I've
remember.
read it like 1,000 times.
That's what I mean. Clearly the branding's not good because we can't remember.
SoundCloud, Soundtrack.
Sure.
Sounds.
I think it might be Soundtrack.
I think it's Soundtrack.
That sounds right. Anyway, they upload to that. They upload to Spotify, wherever it may be. They put it everywhere, I guess. But then also, not only did they get their live streams in, recording the music, and now they have music for their audience or whoever it may be to listen to. Now that's also their offline content done as well. Yeah. So you're getting all kinds of bases covered at the same time by doing just the one thing.
And that's kind of like my plan with my live stream is I'm going to have one a week because I'm not just going to release this one thing and that's it.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate goal is right now it's an hour, 31 minutes. And 31, not an hour and 31 minutes. It's 8 songs. Excuse me. Editor, please cut that out. We don't have an editor, so it's not getting cut out yet. Yeah, and so I'm thinking like Mondays. This is super original, but like Music Monday to just stream making the next ones. Yeah, now that I have the first one out, and so people can get an idea of like the results. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable like starting the music stream without there being like a result.
Yeah, for sure.
Because anybody who's written music knows that it sounds terrible for a long time.
Of course, yeah. So, but now it's like someone can come in and see you're just like playing your 7-string and drop D with like the distortion pedal up. Whatever, dude.
Drop motherfucking A.
Right, sure. But they can come in and hear you doing that, and they're like, "Oh, is there anything like I can actually listen to that like you done?" You're like, "Yeah, here's like the full album."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Okay, sick. This dude actually knows what he's doing. Or doesn't, or I don't like it, whatever it may be, and they can kind of decide whether they want to stay or not from there, right?
But you jump on a stream and you're like with some dude trying to write a riff and drop A, and it's like go 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 go. You're like, oh,
like, what the
God,
hell is that?
what is this?
Is there anything I can hear, dude? He's like, no, this is my first thing. It's like, all right, dude. Yeah, so like that's that's just the idea, right? Is Brant made a metal-ish album.
It's there's metal, like there's all sorts of hard, like there's a fucking almost a classic rock song on it.
Right? Yeah.
It's all instrumental right now. There are vocal, like some of these are gonna be vocals added to them and released again. That's why they're all marked as instrumental on Spotify. It's on every platform. The album is called 56 Kilobits.
Yeah. Like again, and that's further to marketing to gamers, right? Like that's like a thing, right? It's like it's something.
It's the Spotify name is Rage Barrel Gaming.
That's right. Yeah. So it's all something that's marketed towards people who are streamers and that kind of thing, which is, that's why we say like that's if you're going to do that, then that's the move, right? Is to definitely, if you're going to make music for streamers, make sure streamers know you're making music for them. Yeah. That's kind of the thing, right?
And it's all titled, like on YouTube, it's like DMCA, copyright free music for streamers.
Exactly. Right. So there's like kind of some of the things to do. On the other side of the coin, when it comes to copywritten music and why I think it's like this whole copyright strike thing sucks is that, in my opinion, I think, I said earlier that people want to have like a certain vibe with their channel, right? Like there's a soundtrack to their channel in their head, right? And with this whole copyright strike thing, you're kind of you either are or could be killing the vibe of that person's channel, which just maybe was something they really, really hung their branding on, right? I can
Like
give
yourself.
I was going to say I can give no better example than myself for what. So when I very first wanted to start streaming and started getting into like that creative mindset, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to market it? All that kind of thing. A large part of it was. A large part of it was that I wanted to build a community around rock and roll. Like, I love rock and roll. I love the music. I love the culture. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it. Like, I'm rock hard for rock and roll. Right? Like, I really, really do love it. And I'm a musician myself. And, you know,
Sorry, I have to interrupt and say that the next album is rock hard for rock and roll.
that I hope it is.
100%.
Like, absolutely, because that's actually a really good name. So I do, that was like, you know, kind of initially that was the idea. Like, I'm not like the best gamer in the world. Like, I can hold my own on some things, but like that wasn't never going to be the thing that I could like hang my hat on, right? Was like, oh, dude, this dude is nutty at whatever. It was more so like the idea was to build a community around people who liked the same kind of music, or maybe liked music that was a little bit different, and for people to discover new bands and talk about, like, again, I'm a drummer, and talk about drumming and maybe meet other people who are in bands or want to start bands, or talk about touring and live shows and recording music and talk about all that. Was like kind of the whole idea, right? You know, if anyone has seen my my Shady Lurker logo, like the logo I have for my channel, it's like a full rip-off of the Strokes logo. Like, it's
Is that because you like to stroke?
it's because I like to stroke specifically, yes.
Yeah. Just had to
Had to clarify that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So obviously the Strokes, great rock and roll band, love them to death. But that was kind of the idea. And then, you know, when I would play or I'd be streaming, you know, I would have whatever music I wanted to have on, be it, you know, if you want to use the Strokes, or want to use like the Clash, or want to use Rancid, or you want to play, you know, your like Bill Murray, like that I showed you, and like just that kind of thing. And the idea was to be listening to some kind of rock and roll band, and people to come in and be like, hey, I love what you're listening to, or this shit is dope. Who is it? And then it's like, you know, I get to build a community by, you know, people come into my channel to hear music in the genre that they like, but maybe bands they hadn't heard of before. And then, like, you know, I adore when I find new bands. I love looking up who they are and learning about them, and learn, you know, kind of like a trivia type almost thing of those bands. And, you know, so that's where you could get into like really good conversations of, hey, did you know this guy used to be in this band, which is also a dope band? You should check out their stuff too. It's also sick, right?
Yeah.
Like that whole thing, that was like kind of the idea of my channel initially. So then the copyright strike thing happens, and that just shut that down. That just turned the lights off on that whole idea. Like, straight away, I can't be like, oh, dude, you like even if someone comes to my channel now and I just get to talking to them, if I'm wearing like this fucking My Chemical Romance shirt, it's like, oh, dude, I love MCR as well. And then it's like, all right, sick. And then we can talk about MCR, and then I'll be like, oh, yo, did you ever hear like Armor for Sleep? Like some like obscure band that's of the same genre around the same era, but never got near as much attention, which are also a sick band. Shout out Armor for Sleep. They're actually insane. But it's like I could, you know, initially, like before, I'd be able to be like, yeah, check out this band. They're sick. Or this is what they sound like. And just go to Spotify and play, or go to YouTube and play their music video and be like, hey, yo, look, like, check this out. And we could talk about that band and who they are. And, you know, maybe they toured with MCR at one point and all this kind of stuff, right? And that was like that whole idea of my channel was just absolutely shut down when this copyright strike thing happened. Again, like, not that I'm like, my stream is big by any stretch of the imagination, to the point where I had to be like genuinely fearful for my career or anything like that. Like, it's not anything like that, but it's like, I can't build an audience around that idea anymore, because if it works, I have to kill the idea. Right?
You'll have to kill it eventually. And like, a lot of people aren't taking it serious enough. Like, as you said before, like, so many people, they don't give a shit.
No, of course, yeah.
I don't know if that's the right move or the wrong move. I honestly don't.
I mean, it's definitely the wrong move. It's right. Like, it certainly is the wrong move. It's like, will they ever get caught? Like, maybe not.
and that's the thing. Like, it's only illegal if you get caught.
And 100%. And like, again, and like one streamer specifically that I can think of, like I was saying, that was listening to like Eminem the other day. It's like, he's not really big enough to like.
He'll probably be fine.
Like, most likely, but like, that being said, like I said earlier, like Learn got busted, and Learn's not gigantic either. So like, who the hell knows, right?
And I know like Admiral Baru had to delete every VOD.
Dude, some people got real mad about that, and rightfully so. Like some like big streamers, not big, sorry, some partnered streamers who've been streaming for like 6 or 7 years had all their VODs that had copyright music deleted.
Yeah,
and people were like furious. It's like, dude, you just like deleted like 8 years of memories.
Yeah,
like
it's
like this was like you like where Twitch would hold your VODs. Like, that's where I thought like my Google Drive was for my VODs, right? It's like, this is where all my things were housed. Like, there could have at least been some kind of warning. It's like, hey, in the next 14 days, we're going to take down your shit. If there's anything there you want, you might want to download it.
Yeah, and saying like, oh, they should just backed it up isn't like, what do you every single day you're gonna download
8 years of 5-hour streams?
Or like every day you stream, when you're done streaming, you're gonna download that and then upload that to your Google Drive. Your Google Drive is gonna be fucking like terabytes.
Yeah, like legitimately, like multiple
for a lot of these
terabytes.
daily streamers who stream 8 hours a day. Like there is no archive option except for just leave it in Twitch.
No, exactly. Like, imagine if like that happened to like Summit 1G, who's been streaming since before Twitch was even a thing. Most days for years and then lost everything up until like the last year. Like, I'd be savage, dude. Like, it's a crazy thing, and it really, really does suck. And like, I give my example, but surely, I mean, like, I know, like, do you know who Chad is? Like, that streamer, he's like Shroud's buddy. That guy. So there's like I'm a hip hop fan as well, and I found this band called E40 through his channel, like this like hip hop group, and it was like through his channel found 2-9. 2-9 is the band. E40 is a different rapper. 2-9 is a hip hop group. I found that group through his channel, and then like, just in his channel, just like when I found that, like, he was playing it and I listened to it and I listened to like the album and just like had a quick, just like in chat kind of thing with him, just be like, dude, this band is sick, and like him and I had like a quick couple minute thing about that group, and it's like, dude, that's so sick, and he's like a huge hip hop head, and it's like, now I can't find hip hop, like underground hip hop music through his channel anymore because of that exact same reason, and it's just super, super lame. And like, I get it, like I get why copyright striking is the thing, because like obviously there's a lot of there's millions of dollars put into marketing and recording some of these groups and all that kind of thing, and I understand it, and I get that like record labels have no power anymore and they need to try to swing the dick that they have left around to just show it's like, hey, please sign with us because we can still make you money. We're not just a bank that's going to claw back everything we've given you and more. Promise, which they are. Don't sign with record labels, people. But okay, different topic.
Get a music lawyer before you sign with a record label.
Of course.
Asterisks.
Yes, and everyone's
because they're probably gonna fuck you. In like the worst.
I mean, they're just a bank with connections, aren't they?
There's just this isn't a music podcast.
It's a very, very different conversation.
But if you're a band who's like working with a label and they want to sign you, get a fucking lawyer.
Absolutely. It just man, I don't know if there's like a lot more to really talk about on like that side of like the copyright strike thing. It's just like, I think there's a lot of people that had a very specific vibe for their channel, and that vibe was very heavily based off of the music they like and the soundtrack to their stream. And as good as a lot of copyright free music is, like, it's not London Calling by The Clash, right? It's not Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. It's not something that's like instantly recognizable. Like new people coming into my channel and I'm playing Pearl Jam or whatever. Insert whatever band. I'm playing Pearl Jam and they happen to be a Pearl Jam fan. That's instant connection before you've even said a word.
Yeah.
Right? And like maybe some people will come in and hear Pearl Jam and be like, "Yo, fuck this shit, I'm out." Which is also fine, but they never would have. We probably wouldn't have vibed anyway, right? So that's fine. But it's just it takes away something from the character of what your channel could be, because everyone has their own unique music interests, and music is just such a personal thing. Like you listen to the bands or groups or artists or whatever that you listen to for very specific reasons. And when you take that away from someone's channel or someone's creativity, you're killing a lot of their vibe. Like there's a reason that someone that when movies use very specific songs.
Yeah, and like one thing I did before I have like a lot of private Spotify playlists that I would use just for streaming.
Right. Yeah.
Because like. Again, I really only play like fast-paced shooters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like I always wanted the soundtrack to my stream to be what I'm doing.
Of course.
And then when like all the DMCA apocalypse happened or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like, should I play these?
Like, can I even do that anymore?
Like, it really did kill the vibe.
It did. You know, there's this is going to sound super cheesy and super fucking emo or whatever, but there's a Fall Out Boy lyric that says, "I can write it better than you ever felt it," right? And that line is like so relevant to what we're talking about, just because sometimes the music you're playing can describe the type of vibe or the type of person that you are better than you could ever tell someone in like an elevator pitch what your whole thing is about.
100%.
Right? You know what I mean? Like without trying to take back how cheesy that might sound, but it's just like if someone pops into your channel and you're really focused on a game and sometimes you don't get to see the "hey dude" message that pops up because you're super focused on something. You might be focused on that for 5 minutes, and that could make that person leave. But what if you have the ability to play a song that fits exactly what your whole stream is about, and you might not see that "hey" message, that's the first message this person ever sent, for 5 minutes, but they vibe with the music and they vibe with the game that you're playing, and everything looks good and it sounds good, and they can maybe that gives you a couple of extra minutes before you lose that person, right? Like maybe that person really likes that one song and they're going to listen to that song. It's like, oh shit, this person's listening to whatever. I love this. Or I don't know what this artist is. And you ask the question.
Yeah.
Dude, this song is sick. What is it? It's just like, man, it just sucks, dude. It's just, again, and I get it. I understand that there's money and it's owned by someone else and you're using something that's owned by someone else to potentially make money for yourself. I get that stupid fucking argument. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is like you are redistributing a song to, if you're Shroud, to tens of thousands of people.
Right.
That's where the problem is. And that's where like Twitch's new sound bullshit, whatever the fuck it's called.
Who cares? Yeah. Yeah.
Like there needs to be a DSP being like Spotify, Apple Music, things that you distribute your music to.
Yeah.
Designed for streamers to allow you to do that, to make sure that the artist and the label and the publisher are happy.
100%. Yeah.
So I am hoping that Twitch Music, we just can call it Twitch Music.
Sure.
Why don't you just call it Twitch Music? Boom. Okay, Twitch, I'll accept my paycheck now
checks
for
in the mail, dude.
thinking of your name. And the thing is, when I distributed this album, it was like I had to change my entire aggregator platform to SoundCloud because they're only partnered with two, and I don't like the other one. And it's like Twitch was a selection on the DSP list.
Okay, yeah, right. I got you. Yeah. So it's just like another one.
But it's curated right now. So there's no guarantee that any of my music will be on that.
Right, I got you. Yeah.
Which is I think there just needs to be a DSP, and that's what Gamerize. They talked about being a DSP.
Right.
That would be if you put your music onto our platform
and it's played through that platform, then it won't be.
Yeah, but the logistics behind that is gonna be crazy. Because what is it gonna do? Is it gonna be the same payout for someone who has 60,000 viewers versus someone with one viewer? Because your music's now been listened to by 60,000 people versus one.
The whole thing.
So what are the logistics there?
No, I understand that, and I think the counter argument to that is that the music that I play, whether it's copyright free or not, isn't what my content is.
Yeah, and
that's the argument, right?
It's the argument.
Dude, the idea of me streaming is that people are watching me at my computer playing the game that I play in the setting that I normally play it at, which is me playing X game, listening to whatever popular artist I like on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like that's me at my computer. And that's what I do when the camera's not on. So that's the counter argument, but it's almost like that would have to like go to some kind of court.
Yeah, that's a change of the law.
Yes, it is for sure.
Because people are getting DMCA'd from walking through a mall with the fucking music playing through the mall speakers.
Yeah.
That should never be a problem.
I got worried about streaming. I think I talked about this before. I got worried about streaming the Tony Hawk remakes because it has a soundtrack that has all kinds of copyright music in it.
But I'm pretty sure they cleared all that music, though.
You would think.
There is a thing for music
within the game. What should happen is Amazon Music should make some kind of deal with these labels and just be
Amazon Music is a DSP.
Exactly.
Why isn't that a part of Twitch?
What I mean. It's like what if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can play any music from Amazon Music without getting copyright strikes.
Like, why did I select put it to Amazon and put it to Twitch? Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's logistics that are way above me.
It's frustrating.
It's way above my fucking pay grade.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, I think that's just the whole thing. Like again, on this whole how doing these copyright strikes, you're killing some people's careers for sure because I can write it better than we can write it better than you ever felt it. Right? There's some people who don't have the ability to describe who they are, what they're feeling, the intentions behind their channel, and they can't do that very well. But the music they're playing might be able to just do that for them. And by copyright striking people and by copyright strikes become more common, you're potentially killing the careers of some of these people. And like then there's adapt or die, I suppose, and that's fair enough as well. But it's if the idea of Twitch is to be creative, sometimes being creative means being creative with the music that you adore and sharing that music you adore. Like the whole idea of music is to share it with other people. That's the point.
Like, music is so important.
It is so important. But I remember
I hate not being able to stream music.
Yeah,
I know that I know. Okay, before you read that comment, I know that I can. I know I probably won't get in trouble, and none of my shit's gonna get fucked up from it. Yeah. But that's not the point. It's not the point. The point is
it's against TOS.
It's against TOS. It's not an if, but when. Like if you're someone who actively streams it. It's just a matter of time until all your shit gets fucked.
Also, there's also the other side. Like I guess maybe even a last point is if I was an artist, even if I was like a big artist, like if I'm like 21 Pilots or I'm like, Ed Sheeran or whatever, like I'm like a big artist, I think I would be happier if Shroud was playing my song on his stream because. Sure, I only made the 0.001 penny off of him playing that song, but 60,000 people just heard my song.
Yeah, there's definitely...
So what if 1% of those people now like Ed Sheeran? Like, on the artist level, I feel like the vast majority of artists would rather not copyright strike the person, the live streamer playing their music.
Yeah,
most people
like watching the person that you like playing music, you're going to subconsciously like that music.
Of course.
And you're going to go, oh, what song is this? Even if it was as simple as like, if you want to play this music, it just has to like pop up in the bottom right corner of the stream, that like artist and song.
Dude, my very first thing I ever had on an overlay on my stream was a ticker that showed what song was playing on Spotify. Because that was the whole idea.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing. Or you could have in like your panels below your stream, my 3 favorite playlists, this, and this. But most artists would be like, dude, that's sick that he's playing whichever artist I am, that may have just garnered me more fans.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like 100%, like if you like look at how many songs are popular because they were in like a TikTok video.
Yeah, like
like that might be the best example, honestly. It's like
people relate with like the music that they're watching.
Dude, look how fucking Fleetwood Mac are super popular again because that dude on the skateboard.
420 something dude.
Yeah. Like Fleetwood Mac literally
with the
have
cranberry juice.
Yes, they're on like the front page of Spotify.
Cranberry juice sales boosted like 7,000% or something absolutely astronomical.
So like, should Fleetwood Mac like copyright strike that dude's channel, or did that dude's channel playing that song just get Fleetwood Mac like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Well, for TikTok is actually a DSP.
Oh, well,
so
fucking Twitch, dude.
Using that music in that was completely legal and non-DMCA viable.
Twitch, get your fucking shit together, dude. It's so frustrating,
but with
dude.
TikTok, when you distribute the TikTok, like you pick a segment from your song, from 30 seconds to 35 seconds.
Right.
And then that is on TikTok, and you get a payback from TikTok every time it's used.
Gotcha.
So TikTok is actually a DSP. People don't. FYI.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, definitely. I didn't know that.
So when people are, and that's why you get this thing playing in the bottom right corner. It's like playing the song. You forget and see everything. It's a DSP. It pays astronomically low because it's a portion of the song, but it's still DSP. DSP.
Imagine if Twitch was a DSP.
Which they're trying to be with the Twitch lamp or whatever.
Right. Twitch sings.
Twitch.
But like, with that being, which is fine, like that's what they're trying to be with copyright-free music. But like, you're Amazon, dude. Like you already have it. Amazon, and I think we ranted about this when the Twitch sings thing first popped up. It's like when like Amazon, like Twitch is trying to introduce their Twitch music thing when they're owned by Amazon, which already has Amazon Music as a DSP. Like just fold it into Twitch. What like? Is Amazon that siloed? It must be. It has to be. Like, definitely, it has to be. It has to be that siloed.
It's a giant company.
No, I understand that, but like, surely, like the people at Twitch probably don't even know who works at fucking Amazon Music. No contact. Can't even reach them. Don't have the key card. Don't work.
The storefront team don't know the fucking AWS team.
No, it's frustrating.
It's the size of a fucking country. Amazon is larger than most countries.
I know. Oh, it hurts my brain, dude.
Amazon is larger than the Amazon. By a lot, because that's not that.
I mean, yeah. Most of that's burning away, but that's also another podcast. Friends, so I think a quick wrap up on this whole thing is, if you are a musician, you are an artist, you do like to record your own stuff, please consider making copyright-free music and marketing it towards streamers, because there is a huge need, and it's only going to get bigger for sure.
I think another important thing that I think will scare a lot of musicians away from making, it's not technically copyright-free. I still owe the copyrights.
Yeah.
You're just giving people a license to use it on your stream.
Yes.
But people are still streaming it from Spotify, Apple Music, and you do make money from that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just because you're releasing music that is safe for streamers and safe for YouTubers doesn't mean you've relinquished all ownership of that or income. I think
it's more so a record label lawyer is not going to come knocking down your door and be like, you owe us 62 cents.
It's a very I think it's a very important misconception that's going on.
It is.
Right
No,
now.
for
It's
sure.
like,
Yeah.
You absolutely can and will make money if all these streamers are using your music and they're streaming it from Spotify. They're streaming it from your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
which is
saying it's
hopefully
copyright
monetized.
free is not genuine. Like, it's not actually
Copyright free. Like, no, I own the copyright to all this. It's
yes,
not
of course.
copyright
No,
free
of course.
music.
It's just like it's like a layman term, isn't it?
Yeah, Stream Beats isn't copyright free. Harris Heller owns the copyright to all
He
that
makes
shit.
bucks deluxe off his copyright free music.
And if like just watch his. I'm not gonna give numbers away, but just
watch
watch
his
his
YouTube
YouTube videos. He absolutely makes bucks deluxe
Yeah.
from this copyright DMCA
yeah.
free music, but you don't lose any of the ownership on the music. I think that's very important.
No, I think
Unless
that
you
is
put it
very
on as an actual public domain song, which don't fucking do that.
Don't do that, yeah. Don't do that. No, but you're absolutely right. And it's like, yeah, it's more so, if you're an artist and you are curious about streaming and you don't know what to stream, I think that's just a great idea. And the need is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the months go by. And on the other side of the coin, Twitch, I don't know, get your shit together, find out a way to be a DSP, because you might be killing the careers of what could potentially be some big streamers.
Hell yeah.
I think that's a huge market that's getting destroyed, and it would have been me. It wouldn't. It wouldn't have been me. That's not true at all.
Though, yeah, literally the reason why your career hasn't picked off.
That's
because of that.
That alone is the only reason the career hasn't taken off. That's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to episode number 30 of the Hotfix podcast. We do appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you're watching on YouTube, consider liking, subscribing, maybe even commenting or sharing.
And join the Discord.
Join the Discord, yeah.
Nobody joined it.
I know. The Discord's in the link down below. Please consider joining that as well.
The first member gets a free
hand job
episode
from Brent.
Oh my god!
If you're listening on the audio feeds, whatever channel, whatever stream or whatever feed it may be, please consider liking, giving reviews, all that kind of stuff. It goes a very, very long way. We do post every single Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Take care of each other. We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.